Nestled amidst peaceful countryside, in a quiet part of Kent you'll find the picturesque village of Pluckley, famously used as the backdrop in the 1990s for shooting of The Darling Buds of May. Despite appearances, Pluckley is widely considered one of the most haunted places in Kent and across England. Looking at this pretty place, you might find it hard to believe that it was once named the most haunted village in Britain in the Guinness Book of World Records in 1989. An astounding 16 distinctive ghosts have been reported to reside in the village, so it's easy to see why it's so popular for ghost hunters hoping to catch a sighting. Amongst Pluckley's numerous ghostly tales is that of the watercress woman who witnesses have reported to have seen sitting on Pinnock Bridge smoking her pipe. The elderly woman was well known in the village for making a living gathering watercress from the river and selling it to the villagers. It is said that one evening after drinking she fell asleep and her pipe dropped onto her clothing. Within moments she was consumed by the flames. She is believed to still haunt Pinnock Bridge, with some witnesses describing a faint pink glow which hovers in the air above the spot where she died. Many have traveled to Pluckley's in the hopes of capturing evidence of spirits, and one such group asked to spend a night in the village's Church of St. Nicholas in the 1970s, bringing along cameras and tape recorders to document their stay. The story goes that the next morning when the vicar of the church came to greet them, they were disappointed that the night had been uneventful, and commented that the only interesting part had been the vicar's dog, who had come to visit them a few times, to which the vicar replied he did not have a dog. Once voted as the most haunted house in Britain, the grand Blickling Hall that you'll see today stands on the ruins of a medieval manor house, once home to the Boleyn family, with Anne Boleyn herself said to have been born here. It's no surprise then that tales of hauntings at Blickling Hall center on her as one of history's most famous figures. Anne was infamously beheaded by her husband King Henry VIII after failing to give her a son and heir to the throne. On the 19th of May each year, the anniversary of her death, Anne is said to return to Blickling Hall. Arriving in a headless horse-drawn carriage, she is dressed all in white and glides into the hall, roaming the halls until the sun comes up. A member of staff working at Blickling Hall reported seeing a figure of a woman reading a book in the library, who then disappeared when the staff member got closer. Upon looking at the book the woman was reading, the steward discovered that the book was open to a page containing a painting of Anne Boleyn. The ghost of Anne Boleyn is not the only spirit believed to reside here. Also claimed to haunt the halls is Sir Henry Hobart, who owned Blickling Hall in the 1600s. Hobart died at Blickling from wounds sustained during a duel. One warden of the property reported that their dog would never cross the threshold into the room that Hobart died in, but would stand at the doorway with hackles raised. Pendle Hill is certainly an area that is shrouded in mystery and speculation, attracting visitors from far and wide and even ghost hunters, particularly on Halloween. During the 17th century in England there was mounting hysteria surrounding the practicing of witchcraft, and if someone was ill or passed away suddenly, witchcraft was often blamed. 12 women in Lancashire were accused of witchcraft and were to become the most famous witches in Britain. They were put on trial at Lancaster Castle in 1612 for the murder of up to 10 people, and 10 were subsequently found guilty. Pendle Hill is said to be the home to the restless spirits of the witches, who are buried there overlooking the village of Newchurch. The witches are also said to haunt the villages that lie in the hill's shadow. There are many stories of supernatural encounters from those who have spent time on Pendle Hill, and a number of television programs have been filmed there. Some crew members have reported the feeling of being strangled with invisible hands. The ramshackle and foreboding atmosphere of the ancient Ram Inn provides the picture-perfect image of a haunted house. The inn was built in 1145 on top of 2 ancient ley lines believed to draw spiritual energy directly from Stonehenge. It is said that the Ram Inn in Gloucestershire is the most haunted house in Britain, so if you dare to step inside you're in for a chilling experience. With its rich and troubled history, it's unsurprising that the inn is a popular site for paranormal events. Visitors have reported all manner of haunting experiences, including freezing temperatures and a creaking structure. Although there have been many ghost sightings, one of the inn's most famous ghostly inhabitants is that of a woman who was believed to be a witch in the 1500s. She took refuge at the inn to escape the witch hunt that were prevalent in the area at that time, until she was eventually captured. However, many people believe that her spirit still lingers to haunt the room she stayed in. The castle's name hints to the chilling stories that have been told about Chillingham Castle, and it is widely considered to be Britain's most haunted historic castle. You'll find it in the village of Chillingham, just a 20-minute journey from Alnwick. The castle was originally built as a stronghold in the 12th century, and has seen a turbulent history that saw the castle being attacked due to its crucial position on the border of Northumberland. There are said to be a mixture of tortured spirits and friendly ghosts at Chillingham Castle, with one of the most talked about being the White Pantry ghost. The ghost of a frail figure in white is said to appear in the inner pantry begging for water. Historically, the story is told that a footman guarded the pantry because the silver was stored there. One night when he was asleep, he was confronted by a lady in white who begged him for some water. The footman assumed that she was one of the castle's guests, and went to retrieve it when he realized that he was locked inside and nobody could have entered. Another one of the castle's most talked about spirits is that of the Blue Boy, who is thought to haunt the Pink Room, and witnesses have claimed to see blue halos of light inside. Once intended to be the grandest house in Devon, the ruin of Bury Pomeroy Castle sits in a picturesque wooded valley in Devon. The castle was originally given as a gift to Ralph de Pomeroy by William the Conqueror, before the Seymour family took over in the 1500s. This idyllic woodland scene can be deceiving, as the castle is in face considered to be one of the most haunted in Britain. Two female spirits are said to haunt the halls. The Blue Lady and the White Lady is believed to be the spirit of the beautiful Margaret Pomeroy, who fell in love with the same man as her sister, Lady Eleanor. Eleanor was so jealous that she imprisoned Margaret in the castle's dungeons, and it's thought that Margaret still haunts the dungeons to this day. The Blue Lady is thought to also be a member of the Pomeroy family. Dressed in a long blue cape, she attempts to lure passers-by to her aid in the castle's tower, and then push them to their death. Visitors to Bury Pomeroy have spoken about hearing a woman's cries near the tower and seeing a glowing blue light.